Good morning, people. Time for another exciting episode of Random Anime Characters versus the Dragon Ball universe. Wait, do you guys also hear that? It sounds like someone is mentioning that Dragon Ball speed hacks invalidate every argument I'm going to make. Jokes aside, I am perfectly aware that in a realistic scenario, pretty much none of the characters I've done videos like this on would even get as far as they did. Obviously, with the level of speed Dragon Ball is at, no one would be realistically able to even hit them, but you know, I have my reasons for doing these videos the way I do them. I mean, it could just be me, but if you are the type of person who invalidates every possible take with Dragon Ball speed and power hacks invalidate every argument made in this video. None of these scrubs could even beat episode 1 Kid Goku. Get off the internet, you fucking loser. You are either just so insecure about your personality and or taste in anime that the very possibility of 1% of the Dragon Ball verse just losing terrifies you to your core. Well, either that or you are just one of the most boring, uncreative people ever, man. Like, seriously, work on it. It's not that serious. But moving back on track, as you have probably seen from the title and the thumbnail of this video, today's star is Tanjiro from the massively popular Demon Slayer franchise. Time to use some sexy Ufotable clips in this video, which I'm actually looking forward to because I absolutely love the way Ufotable animates anything because, you know, I am a Fate fan. Spoiler alert. But let's start things off with the usual routine of a short little synopsis of what Demon Slayer is all about for the 2 or maybe 3 people who have never seen it and even heard about it. One cold winter day, Tanjiro heads out to sell some charcoal to the village at the bottom of the mountain he lives on. Everything goes normally and Tanjiro just makes his way back home. A villager who lives at the bottom of the mountain stops Tanjiro and insists he do not venture up the mountain in the dark. Tanjiro eventually, albeit reluctantly, does agree to stay the night at this villager's house. The next morning, Tanjiro heads back home, but there is something concerning him. He can smell the foul odor of blood in the air. He rushes home only to find his entire family slaughtered. His sister Nezuko is the only one to survive, but something is still not quite right. Nezuko has been turned into a demon. Tanjiro takes Nezuko and flees into the woods only to encounter Giyu, an actual demon slayer. A skirmish unfolds between 3 of them, but in an incredible twist of fate, Nezuko protects her brother instead of succumbing to her demon instincts. Giyu believes that these 2 might hold the key to success against the demons and sends Tanjiro off to train to become part of the next generation of Demon Slayers, accompanied by his last remaining family. Demon Slayer really is, although a tiny bit carried by Ufotable being the animation studio, a very good show which I do actually recommend to everybody watching this video to check out. But this video is not about Demon Slayer as a series. Okay, it kinda is. But this video is about Tanjiro and how far I think he would be able to get in the world of Dragon Ball. In order to get a decent scope on what Tanjiro can do, we need to first take a look at what the power system of Demon Slayer actually is. So, in the world of Demon Slayer, the main power used by the good guys is their breathing styles. And no, this is not Hamon from JoJo's. I actually had this discussion with someone a while back, and I can confidently say that Hamon is its own unique thing. Don't worry, I'm not going to make a stupid comparison like that here. But Demon Slayer has a total of 14 breathing styles which have been shown to be practiced in the franchise. For the sake of convenience, I will just list all of them off right now. These 6 main branches of breathing consist of water, moon, flame, thunder, stone, and wind. The water breathing technique, which is the one Tanjiro learns as an apprentice Demon Slayer, has 2 sub-branches of breathing techniques which were derived from it. These 2 sub-branches being flower breathing and serpent breathing. Flower breathing also has a sub-branch of its own called insect breathing. Flame breathing has a sub-branch called love breathing, thunder breathing has a sub-branch called sound breathing, and wind breathing also has 2 sub-branches in beast breathing and mist breathing. And it is later revealed that the 6 original forms of breathing all diverge from the primordial form of breathing, so to say, called sun breathing. And fun fact, well, maybe not a fun fact for some people, but all of the flashy visual effects you see when the Demon Slayers are using their breathing techniques are all imaginary. Like, they don't actually show up to other people who view the fight. It's kind of similar to stands in a way, but the stands are actually real and simply can be observed by non-stand users. And the breathing visual effects are literally just not there. They are literally just effects for the sake of making it look pretty. Which admittedly, with the effects, they do look much cooler. The only notable exceptions to this are that lightning and sound breathing do have an actual effect to them that is observable by other people. A skilled enough user of one of these 2 breathing techniques can move fast enough to break the sound barrier and mimic the sound of lightning this way. So to sum it up, these breathing techniques are in reality nothing more than highly skilled schools of swordsmanship the Demon Slayers use to fight the demons. So a little bit of lore here. here, a demon can really only die by being exposed to sunlight or having their head severed by a Nichirin blade. The Demon Slayers use these specially crafted Nichirin blades in combination with these breathing techniques to combat the demons and their supernatural abilities. So it's not even the breathing techniques themselves that can kill the demons, it's the Nichirin blades crafted with steel that can absorb and retain sunlight. In reality, the Demon Slayers are nothing but highly skilled, trained swordsmen. Tanjiro himself was initially trained in water breathing, but later on discovered the secret of the primordial breathing technique of sun breathing, which was passed down the Kamado family line. But what does this mean for Tanjiro? Throughout the series, we see that Tanjiro is a naturally gifted fighter. He is quick to train his body and has a natural gift for swordsmanship. He is also very strong for a young man his size, and by normal human standards, he can definitely be considered superhuman. He can easily jump 3 to 4 times his own height, he can send people flying with punches and kicks, like literally send them flying. He can slice solid stone boulders clean in two, etc. His physical strength is no joke, and he can easily overpower any normal human with insufficient training. Tanjiro is also gifted with very heightened and precise senses and reflexes. He is much faster than any athlete could ever hope to be. He can move faster than human eye can perceive and use this speed to catch his opponents off guard. Due to the training he went through, which drastically expanded his lung capacity, Tanjiro also has incredible stamina reserves to use in combat. To add on to this, he can also take a good beating and still continue to fight. His endurance and perseverance combine into a powerful weapon to drag out fights if needed. Tanjiro does have one ability which could be considered as superhuman, quote unquote. He has an incredible sense of smell. He can use this sense of smell to fake a 360-degree field of vision, which he can visualize inside of his own mind. This makes it very difficult for enemies to just sneak up on him and catch him off guard. Combining his physical prowess with his mastery of swordsmanship makes Tanjiro one of the biggest threats a demon could possibly face. But what do these skills mean for him if he were to fight the Dragon Ball universe? Like we touched upon before, unlike the visuals which were beautifully crafted by Ufotable would lead us to believe, the Demon Slayers are merely very well-trained humans with no supernatural abilities whatsoever. This does bring some serious problems when we want to compare these normal humans to energy beam shooting demons and galactic space Hitlers who can ass blast a planet with a finger. If you were to ask me how far Tanjiro would be able to get, I would have a very difficult time in placing him any further than the Red Ribbon Army saga. I know this would mean that he could make it through the 21st World Tournament saga, which is already a pretty big stretch due to the presence of Master Roshi. But I don't really need him to win the 21st World Tournament, I kind of just need him to survive it. Because like, let's be realistic, I doubt Roshi would just kill Tanjiro, let's be real there. Unless Tanjiro turns into a complete villain out of nowhere, he would be able to survive the tournament. He would just not be able to win it, and I totally get that some of you would take that as a loss and rank him there, and I fully support that take as well, because there is no way in hell he's beating Master Roshi, like no way. But I do believe that Tanjiro could deal with a large chunk of the Red Ribbon Army, including guys like General Blue, Android 8, and Major Metallotron. He will, however, lose 100% of the time against Tao. And sadly for Tanjiro, Tao is not going to spare him. Whilst Tanjiro can also move faster than the eye can see and is very physically strong, I don't really believe that he would be fast and or strong enough to beat Tao. But even if you think he can beat Tao with the slightest bit of godly plot armor luck, his next stop at the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament would just feature Tien completely destroying him without so much as a single drop of sweat dripping down his perfectly succulent bald head. I even had the thought of throwing Nezuko in the mix to accompany Tanjiro, but I ultimately didn't because I don't think she would be a sufficient enough buff that his results would really change. Like, even if you say, like Tanjiro and Nezuko fight Mercenary Tao, like, I don't think it would improve their chances really by, like, more than, like, maybe 0.1%. Like, I just don't see it happening, but maybe I'm wrong there, because I do know that Nezuko is pretty strong herself with her, like, Blood Demon art, but still, like, I just don't see it. Like, if you think that this scenario would change if Nezuko accompanies him, be sure to let me know, of course, but I personally just don't think it would really matter in the end result, because he would still just get destroyed by pretty much anybody stronger than Mercenary Tao. Like, anybody past Tao would be able to beat both Nezuko and Tanjiro with little to no effort. But then again, that's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Did I rank Tanjiro properly, or did I just completely miss the mark with this one? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below as per usual. And with that being said, thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. It really does mean a lot more than you might think. If you liked today's video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and leave a comment with your thoughts to help promote the channel. Work hard, study well and eat and sleep plenty, and I will see you all again in the next video. Peace out.